Hey there! Today I wanted to share with you why games can improve student learning, and I'm going to give you some examples and some benefits of using games in your classroom. Stay tuned. If you don't use games in your classroom, there's so many benefits for using them. We know that it engages students, it helps them retain information. It is definitely a collaborative activity where we encourage teamwork, we foster community. There's so many benefits to games. Structured literacy, we know that we need to have systematic and cumulative curriculum that students are learning. And so you can do so many things with your games, with phonics or reading comprehension, with writing. Today I wanted to focus a little bit on just sight words or sounds, ABCs, vocabulary. Those types of games are really great ways to get students thinking about those and practicing those skills. Another important component of structured literacy is the explicit instruction. So what I want you to think about too is when you're introducing games, I want you to keep it really simple. Only do maybe 2 or 3 different types of games and then make the rules the same every time. So what I mean by that is if you're playing a board game, then have that same board game maybe in a different way. Maybe it's a different theme or something like that, but it's with the same rules of how to play it. And you could also use different skills. So maybe the game is played by rolling the dice, the players move so many spaces, and then they're practicing, maybe they draw a card and they have to decide what the sight word is, and then they record it, or maybe they have to decide what the letter is, then they record it. Maybe they have to decide how many syllables something has in it, and they record it, that type of thing. But the actual game directions are the same. That is going to definitely help you if you have students working on these skills independently, say in centers, or if you're pulling small groups, you want small groups to go quickly, and so if you're having to teach a new game every time, it's going to be harder. Other things to think about is structured literacy is diagnostic, so you want students to be recording as they're playing as well. That way you can see what students are doing during that time. So if you're in small groups, you may be able to see them a little bit easier, but if they're working independently, then having that recording sheet is definitely something that will allow you to assess what they have been working on. One fun game that I really enjoy is this, it's called Alpha Blasters, and I bought this actually for my grandson. And what you do is you line up cards and the students will, you'll say knock down the letter A or knock down the letter B. You give them sort of a directive and they're going to knock down that letter. There's also some different picture cards in there that students can try to spell. So let's say the word is cat and there's no C. They have to find the letter that the word cat starts with, and they shoot it down. I love pop-it games as well. There's a lot of different varieties out there. This is a 2-player game board. There's 4 players, there's 3 players, there's individuals, there's different shapes, sizes. There's even some now that have like 3 pops that have letters on them so you can practice CVC words. There's all kinds. For this particular one, I use this to practice any kind of vocabulary, sight words. In this particular example, students are turning over their card. They have a sight word. They're reading the sight word. They're rolling the dice. Whatever they roll on, they're actually recording on their sheet. So let's say they rolled on 6, then they would record underneath the 6. In this particular example, they rolled 1. They recorded under 1, and then they popped 1 pop. The person that fills up their board first, they pop all their pops first, is the winner. So that is a fun game. My students love playing this, and we do this in intervention where we practice our sounds, we practice reading words, we practice writing words, we do all kinds of stuff, and they love playing this and see who can win. And this is high school, so I mean, this is good for all ages. Another fun game is digital escape rooms. Now they don't have to be digital, they can also be printable. I have a bunch of digital escape rooms that I've made. I use some that are digital and some that are printable. Some of my printables include sentences and grammar like nouns. I'm working on some other ones, but they have to build sentences, they have to find nouns, they have to put puzzles together. So there's all kinds of neat things that they do to solve puzzles. They have to use Google Forms or online puzzles to complete to find their code that they then solve to get their certificate. So that's kind of how it works. But digital escape rooms are a fun way to practice skills in a fun and engaging way. Another game that I love is this game called Headbands. So what you do is you can play up to 4 players. There's little headbands in the game, and you put a card, and you can use a timer. Depends on the age, but you can use a timer. But it says, I am a butterfly. And so students will ask questions to try to figure out what their card is. And so like they might ask questions like, do I live in the water? Can I fly? Do I exist today? And the other kids will answer. So it's a great way for students to take turns, give clues, and provide feedback for each other, asking questions, answering questions, all of those standards that we have to teach. This is a really, really good way of hitting all of those speaking and listening standards, all of those language standards. There's a lot of standards that could be hit with this game. The last game I want to share with you is this basketball game. It looks like this, and I'll actually get this one out for you, and I'll show you how I play it. But this is what it looks like. So it's 2 players, and students would just hit that, they pull it down, and then let it go, and it'll go hopefully into the basket. There it goes. And then you just click on this to keep score. So lots of different things you could do with this. The way that I've done it is students will pick a card, then they answer the question. So let's say it's sight words. They pick the card, they read the sight word, and then they write the sight word, and then they shoot the hoop. If they miss the hoop, then they'd have to write it again, and if they don't, then they can, the next player. So they keep score, and whoever has the most at the end wins. And I have another one that I do as well, but now I can't think of it. It's basically the same thing, where just choose a word and they shoot the ball to get points. It's just any way that you can come up with just something that's engaging and fun versus just pulling out flashcards and practicing sight words or any other skill. And I find that my kids just like that because our intervention is so repetitive that they get a little bit bored with it. And so this is just something that they find more interesting. So I'm always looking for different games that they can play. And this could be done in the classroom as well. Put it in a station, put it in small groups. So I hope that you can see how games could make things more fun in the classroom and how it would help students with their learning, help them retain more information, help them build collaboration and teamwork, and just have fun in the classroom. And at the end of the day, isn't that what it's all about? If we can make learning fun, then we can get students who are excited about learning and who are ready to move to a higher level. Hope you enjoyed these. If you did, please subscribe to my channel, share this video with someone that you care about, and come and see me next time. See you later.